All right, pick time, everyone. It's Saturday. Ignore the top. It's not Sunday. It's Saturday. But here we go. It's time to make our picks for the first round of the playoffs. I'm sorry, I forgot to put the Twitter polls up, but we're gonna go through and list off the games. And we start with the Seahawks and the 49ers. Once a big rivalry, no longer is big, but still a rivalry nonetheless. San Fran with Brock Purdy favored by 10 points.
Yeah, two quarterbacks that have never been in the playoffs facing off against each other. Um, I wanted to go with the 49ers here at home. That defense, I think it's going to excel them to get the win against the Seattle Seahawks. I think it's going to be a very low-scoring defensive game between both teams, and I think the 49ers are going to get the edge.
I give the edge yet to the 49ers. Just their offense alone is, pretty dangerous. If Debo's healthy, um, you know, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey just adds a whole new element to that team. So for that, I got to give the 49ers the edge. But we move on to the Saturday night game. Chargers and Jags, and if you recall earlier in the year, these two teams played each other, and the Jags blew out the Chargers. But the Chargers this time favored by 1.5 points.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Chargers on the road here. I know it's Herbert's first go into postseason. It's also Trevor Lawrence's first go into postseason. But if there's anybody that has experience in a postseason, it's Doug Peterson. I don't want to call him out here, but I'm going to say the Chargers on the road here. And honestly, I do like the point spread.
I like Doug Peterson's creativity. He's the right coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars right now. Um, you know, that's what I'm going to say. And it's really shown the Jags, they made great strides throughout the year. The more they got acclimated, the better they got. And I think we're seeing a changing of the guard, We'll talk more about that tomorrow when we talk about the coaching carousel there. But what I will say is this changing of the guard. I think the Jags are a really good team. They have a very bright future ahead of them with Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence. Unfortunately, though, I think it's going to not be this year. So, that said, I think the Chargers are going to win. They're a lot healthier now than they were the last time they played the Jags. And, I think ultimately this plays in favor of the Chargers having Keenan Allen, potentially Mike Williams. I'll talk about that tomorrow as well. But having Keenan Allen back and having Joey Bosa back will be a big help.
I agree.
Going on to Sunday's games, Dolphins, Bills, no Tua Tagovailoa. He is not medically cleared to play. Teddy Bridgewater rumored to be out as well. So that means their third string will be playing Skylar Thompson.
And yeah, Skylar Thompson. Mind you that this is the first time since 1950 that two rookie seventh-round picks are starting a playoff game.
Yep. The other one being Brock Purdy of the
apparently 49ers. No Raheem Mostert as well too because of a broken hand. So, and a very banged up O-line. So it does not spell very well for the Dolphins, who have a lot of injuries. And if they lose, people are gonna go on Twitter, probably on Twitter and Twitter first, and probably Facebook be like, "Oh, Buffalo got a very easy win because they took advantage of injuries." Whatever. At this point,
but the flip side can be said about the Bills complaining about the Heat earlier this year. So
I know exactly.
It's just toxic in that division.
I think it's very. I think whatever is happening heading into this game is very justified. I say Buffalo. I want to say Buffalo can cream them, but honestly, I don't want to say never. Don't ever, just count out the Dolphins. I think this is the first time that Buffalo is going up against a quarterback like Skylar Thompson this whole entire year. The two times that they played the Miami Dolphins, it was against Tua. Um, you know, but both games,
Hmm.
you know, Miami won in Miami and Buffalo won in Buffalo. But this time it's in Buffalo. So I'm going to give the edge over the Bills. I don't think it's going to be a 13-point victory. I would say at most maybe like a 7, 8-point victory.
I'm going to go in the direction of 10. I think it's 3 points too generous. I think if Tua played and was medically cleared, this game would be a lot closer than it's
So
currently projected to be.
hate to cut you off
But
here. Actually, before the announcement of Tua not playing in this game, with Tua actually coming, possibly being in this game, Buffalo was only 9.5-point favorites. It actually went up to 13 after
yeah.
Tua was announced that he was not going to start this game.
Yeah, and this is now the biggest spread in, I believe, postseason
NFL history.
history since
Yeah.
the sports gambling was legal. Um, but what I will say is Tua playing, I think, would have changed the dynamic of the game. I feel like this game would have been very close.
hmm
But also, the Dolphins haven't won a game in temperatures below 40, I believe. 40 or 50, something like that
Um,
this
well,
year.
they've lost every single game since like I think 2017.
Yeah.
Every single game that they've played in 2017
Yeah.
below 40 degrees have all been losses.
Yeah, you
So
showed me that yesterday, so I just wanted clarification.
I want to say since 2017, it could be 2015.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but
I'm pretty sure it was from 2017. Um, so history and
hmm,
is it on their side? It's going to be cold.
yeah,
It says
I
about
mean,
28 degrees on AccuWeather.
and I will
On
say
ESPN.
streaks are made to be broken. But it's just not lining up this year for them. I think they definitely. Here's the thing. I will make the bold prediction now, even though the season's coming to an end and we still haven't seen the off season moves yet. But I honestly think the AFC East is going to be the AFC East and the AFC West are both going to be powerhouse divisions going forward. I think they really are. Mainly the AFC East. I think the AFC East is going to rule the entire NFL next year. Um,
Um,
but
apparently, and the add to that, apparently Tom Brady hasn't even ruled going to the Miami Dolphins, and it
yeah,
was a credible source too. Which, who knows?
yeah. But for the sake of this game, getting back on track here, I am going to go with the Bills. But I think for sure this game will be a 10 point. It'll be within a possession, maybe two. Um, This one might be the most intriguing game of the weekend. The Giants and the Vikings. And the Vikings are favored by 3.
Well, I mean, Kirk Cousins isn't playing on prime time, so I don't think he has to worry about
But he's
a
not
loss
playing
yet.
at 1 o'clock.
No, I know that's true too. Um, I just think that the Vikings have a little bit more of an edge than the Giants here. But then again, don't count out Brian Dable because he's been in the playoffs before. He knows what it takes. He knows how to rally his team, to get playoff wins. Um, but fortunately, as an offensive coordinator, he has never won a road playoff game
Hmm.
in Buffalo. I mean, of course, that's different as being with the Patriots, but as an offensive coordinator, to my knowledge, he has never won a road playoff game before. And of course, now he's a head coach. I'm gonna give the slight edge. I'm gonna give the edge to the Vikings here. Um, I just don't think they're gonna go any further than the first round or than the second
Yeah.
round. To be honest with you, um, but
Yeah.
I think Justin Jefferson, Delvin Cook, uh, Adam Thielen are gonna definitely show out against the Giants in this
Uh,
game.
I don't feel it's going to be a showing out necessarily. I think it's going to be a disgraceful game for the Vikings. However, and I will say this again, the Giants are another team I feel like are going to be good in the future, just like the Jags. Um, but I think this is just not their game. This is not their matchup. So that said, I'm going to go with the Vikings in this one. And I do like the spread. I think the spread is pretty accurate. I think Saquon
Yeah.
and Daniel Jones with their running ability will keep them in it. But I'd say keeping in it is about the best they're going to do. Um, Sunday
Right.
Sunday night football. Oh, by the way, going back to the Chargers game, Al Michaels is going to be back with NBC for the game, and he'll be calling it with Tony Dungy on Saturday
Oh,
night.
really?
So
Interesting.
that's kind of part of his emeritus deal is that he'll be coming back for one playoff game a year to help NBC out. Um,
Huh.
but
There you
this
go.
is the Tirico and Collinsworth game. Ravens Bengals, and the Bengals are favored by 9.
9.5.
Nine and a
Well,
half,
who
my
is-
mistake.
Um, I mean, look what they did against them the week prior. They crushed them. And this time it's going to be in Paycor Stadium again. Um, second week in a row. They're playing in the same stadium, same team. They don't have to worry about a coin toss, even though I think that celebration was hilarious. um, I'm going to go with the Bengals here. Um, who's to say they're going to not? Who's to say that they'll crush the Ravens again?
Hmm.
Um, there's going to be probably no Lamar Jackson, so it's going to be Tyler Huntley. Um,
Yeah, Lamar
I mean,
having
yeah,
more
technically
issues with his
Tyler
knee.
Huntley does have playoff experience, but can you do it for all 4 quarters?
Hmm.
That's the problem.
So I show you this because I'm going to be making my pick on a coin toss. Oh, sorry, I can't make that joke right here. All right.
Yes, you can.
No, we're not
Yes, you can.
doing that. But I will say Tyler Huntley is likely going to start. It sounds like Lamar's having a lot of issues with his knee right now. Um, Something that'll definitely be big to watch this offseason is he'll be renegotiating his contract. But I just don't think Tyler Huntley has it in him. I think it'll be closer, but I think the Bengals will pull this one out. I would be shocked if they didn't. Um, Here we go. This game might be the most interesting. The only team with a losing record in the playoffs, and that's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They will be hosting the Dallas Cowboys. Mind you, the Dallas Cowboys have a 2.5 point advantage. However, Tom Brady has never lost to the Dallas Cowboys in his career.
I know that's insane. What 7-0 against the Cowboys, and I think he's gonna make a even 9. I think he's gonna get the win against the Cowboys here. Sorry, not sorry, Dallas, but you're gonna be one and done again.
If they go one and done here, I would be willing to put out a big bet, and this was also talked about on First Take this morning or on Thursday morning. That, and I guess it was a heated debate between Stephen A. and
Max Max Kellerman.
no, Stephen A. and Dan Orlovsky, because Kellerman isn't a part of the show anymore. But Dan Orlovsky really believes that if the Cowboys lose here, Mike McCarthy will be out as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And to
I
be
mean,
honest,
it could happen.
Again, 32nd toughest schedule in the league. I'm going to double down on that. They went 12-5, they were in play for the number 1 seed at the end. But I'm sorry, you lose this game with the talent you have because you have the 1-2 punch of Pollard and Elliott still at running back. You have C.D. Lamb, you have T.Y. Hilton, you have so many, Dak didn't have a great year, and Dak had a lousy game last week. to me, if you don't put it on the back burner, I think you're out of a job. So, but then again, let's face it, the Cowboys always surprise us by doing the opposite of what the reports say. So, I'm gonna go with the Bucks, though. I think Brady will make it 8-0 against the Dallas Cowboys in his career, and Dak will still be waiting for that first playoff win. So, that's our picks, and that's kind of our first show of the weekend. So tune in tomorrow. Jason and I will be discussing the latest NFL news. We'll be talking the coaching carousel, making our picks for the open vacancies. We'll also be talking some baseball. And then, of course, the latest on Damar Hamlin, so you won't want to miss that. That's all coming your way tomorrow here, 9 a.m. Eastern, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. So we hope you'll tune in. Until tomorrow, goodbye, everyone.